right, if that's got you upset, this is going to get you more upset, okay? When it comes to Barbie, Ken was nominated, but Barbie wasn't. Yep. Margot Robbie was not nominated for her acting. And get this, Greta Gerwig, who dreamed up the whole story about a plastic doll, made this beautiful original film that made $1 billion at the box office, was snubbed for directing. Yep.
Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Pink Book Lessons entitled Feminists Are Mad That Ken Got Nominated Over Barbie. Really? Please like, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. Chow time.
In case you haven't heard, the feminists are seething right now.
I mean, just going back to the, I got to go back to the Barbie thing because it's still like it upset me this morning.
Yeah.
It was.
No, you were
it had me going.
Everybody,
it had me going.
We're getting angry, Natalie, today. Heads up.
The Oscar nominations are out, and their beloved movie Barbie, filled with a bunch of feminist baby bop bimbo babble, received 8 nominations. Yet they're still unhappy and crying.
They got the nomination for Best Picture, period. That alone is what you strive for. Who cares about the little actors in between? All these actors and everything did such a great job that you made the best movie of the year.
Because Margot Robbie, the lead actress in the movie, did not get nominated for her role, and the director of this feminist film, Greta Gerwig, she did not get a nomination for Best Director. I guess the movie receiving 8 nominations wasn't enough. And technically the same 2 women they're crying about, they were nominated, just not for Best Director and Best Actress. Greta got a nomination for Best Adapt Screenplay, and Margot Robbie, who not only played the main character, but she was an active executive producer, she still received a nomination when the movie was nominated for Best Picture. And then you have America Ferrera, who was nominated for her role in the movie in the Best Supporting Actress category. But what's really adding to their anger is actor Ryan Gosling being nominated for Best Supporting Actor for his...
I watched the movie. I had to watch the movie because I do this content and we were talking about the movie. I loved Ken's role. He was the only person in the movie that actually grew. He actually learned, he was a simp, and he learned that he was enough. That's what most men need to learn. That they're enough. They just need to do a little bit of things that are a little bit better.
His role as Ken in the movie.
And it's just like, also, did they miss the whole moral of the story of Barbie? Yeah. Like, of course, we celebrate just Ken, not the woman who's the lead in it and the icon in it. But actually, I'm stealing this from Brian. I think this could give Greta an idea for a sequel. Barbie goes to Hollywood and then is snubbed by the elites who choose Ken over her. So just throwing that out there for an idea.
All of it is a bunch of nonsense, and despite the movie making over $1 billion at the box office, I'm gonna tell you why they're lucky to have the 8 nominations they do have, because if it were up to me, they wouldn't have any. The movie was trash, and I'll tell you why, but first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates.
I don't think I've seen you. You
I
dug so deep. You tapped into that
made me upset.
frustration.
Like, you know, it made me upset because they've said in the 96 years of the Academy's history, only 3 women have won in the Best Director category. And that says a lot right there. I mean, that tells...
It does. That men are damn good at directing movies and women are not that great. What are you mad about? What, just because it's a woman, you just have to give her an award even though it's a shitty movie?
Tells you everything. It's a man's world. And, you know, as much as women changed the game this summer,
well, stop clapping.
there was only 1 woman nominated
And
in the
especially
directing
when you talk about the
category.
extraordinary box office numbers too. It's
$1
like,
billion.
what else? I mean, maybe she should have done $1 trillion. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But it's like,
First off, the $1 billion box office, it doesn't mean that it was a good movie. It means they did a really good job getting women and girls on board to support this movie with this feminist programming.
Easy.
Besides, there's been a lot of $1 billion films that did not win an Oscar for Best Director. But when she was like, oh my God, it's been almost 100 years, you only had 3 women who won the award. Cry me a river. Do you know how many Black people won that award, Best Director, in 100 years? 0. So at least you have 3. And the white men you're complaining about, they have the rest of them. But whoop-de-doo, who cares? And even now you have 1 woman that was nominated. So what's the real issue? Is it that women aren't getting nominated? Or is it the woman that you wanted to get nominated did not get nominated?
Like America Ferrera says so eloquently, her character says, it is literally impossible to be a woman.
I don't even understand why that woman got the supporting actor. So she spouted out feminist propaganda for like 2 minutes speech throughout all of the movie. She didn't really do much else in that movie other than that.
Like we always have to be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. Always stand out and always be grateful, but never forget that the system is rigged. So find a way to acknowledge that, but again, always be grateful.
What's really annoying is her trying to be a victim so bad. And not only that, but she's using emotions to get the women on stage with her and in the audience to support her whining. Lady, the movie got 8 nominations and she's whining because they didn't get 2 categories.
This film made history. Like Greta Gerwig made history as a woman, as a female director, making over $1 billion on this movie. I mean, it's so.
Should we just celebrate every time a woman does the first of everything? So it's the first time a woman director made $1 billion. Congratulations. Men have been doing it for a long time. Why should you be celebrated for it? Just because it's the first time you did it? Like, so I think celebrate yourself. Celebrate it as a personal victory. Nobody has to celebrate for you.
Funny, like the more, yesterday after the show, a lot of things were coming out, like Ryan's statement and everything. And as the day went on, I was getting mad. Like, I was getting mad about it. Like,
Why?
it's such a snub.
Yeah, that was the goal, for the feminists to talk about this on social media, on Daytime Talk, and get you upset over nothing.
So maybe first somebody need to explain us the process, and then they need to change the process. As more women and more diversity gets into the movie making business and be successful, you need to change the system.
It is, and that's the problem, is the system is broken. The system is rigged, as we said in America Ferrera's, great monologue that she delivers in that movie. And it's rigged because here is why. And we saw this with Oscar So White. Remember back in 2015? And they thought, well, let's change it up. Let's bring some diversity. Okay, but they did not think, like in the directors, it's directors nominating directors. So it's the peers that are nominating your peers. It's a smaller category. And typically the directors tend to lean more male and older. So that tells you everything. They're thinking this movie's a movie about a plastic doll. Oh, there's no message. The message of the movie is so far deeper. I know people who, and I've seen comments, people who got up and walked out. They didn't get it. And I'm like, well, because you didn't stick around and try to listen and get to the message of it. It's not a feminist movie.
How is it
yes,
not?
it is a feminist movie. You know it's a feminist movie. And all this complaining about the system in Hollywood, this is a private industry. If you did not build it, you will not control it.
Correct.
It's like somebody coming over to your house telling you to change your window treatments or move this and that. You don't get to go in somebody else's house and call the shots. You go do that at your own house. The problem is you don't have your own house. So what do you have to do? Build it.
It's a movie about humanity and that everybody has a role in society and what we play and how we participate. Ken is not enough. Like, nobody wants just a Mojo Dojo Casa. I mean, how fun would that be? You want a Mojo Dojo Casa?
That's right.
Like, it's funny how they make fun of Ken wanting a Mojo Dojo Casa, right? It's like, the man didn't even have a house. These men didn't even have houses. Ken's didn't have places to stay. It was only Barbies. So of course he's going to just pick the best, coolest things and make it that, because he's an idiot. That's the whole point of the movie. He's literally an infant learning everything. So once he learns some of the cool things in the world, he wants that to be part of his world. But yet you make fun of him because the Kens didn't even have homes. What the fuck are you talking about? That's how apparent feminist this movie was, that all the Barbies had their own house, and not only their own house, it was their dream house. But the Kens, I don't even know where the Kens fucking stayed, tell you the truth. They didn't even mention it in the movie. But they don't have their own spots, that's for sure.
Wait, is that Ken's?
That's
is that
Ken's house.
Yeah.
The Kens live in the Mojo Dojo Casas.
Oh, that's
No, they fucking don't. They lived in nothing until they took over the dream houses and turned those dream houses into the Mojo Dojos. So you're not even speaking about the movie correctly.
in the movie.
Yes.
The
Right.
Mojo Dojo costume.
He's somebody who didn't
Sorry. What's going on? We're talking about like the jambalaya, like what happens after jambalaya. I sort of zoned out for a second, and then I look at Natalie, and Natalie's yelling,
'Cause he
Mojo
doesn't
Dojo
care.
Casa! Mojo Dojo Casa!
Right, you don't get it.
I don't even,
But
to be honest, I don't even know where I am right now.
But here's your
Ken.
Right,
Ken
but
living in his like
he's Ken on the
cowboy
show.
world with
Right.
his
He's
medallion.
Ken. You are the Ken of this show,
Yes.
right? But here's to your point, though, Natalie. I think when you have a situation, not that the other movies and the other directors aren't
I love how they talk shit again about Ken and they called him the Ken of the show. Really? You just dogged the man in front of everybody.
good at what they do. We just want to be acknowledged and compete for what we do.
Yes.
And the votes have to go
Right.
sometimes.
But it's like what I think, Akbar, you made a good point. It's like if
We let you compete. You can compete all you want, but doesn't mean that you're going to get voted for. And doesn't mean you're going to win. Just because you compete doesn't make you a winner.
this movie made history.
yes, right.
It will, who knows if this groundbreaking history will be made again by a female director. And you're not recognizing that director. You're not recognizing the team. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and
That's
as
a good
we
point.
said that
And feminists are the biggest liars. They say lies over and over again, and somehow that's supposed to make it true. Greta did get recognized, and the crew got recognized. Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Picture, Costume Design, Production Design, to name a few. They got 8 nominations. What do you mean they didn't get recognized?
yesterday, the irony is that it's the exact plot of the movie. You know, it's a patriarchal society. It's men making the.
And
What
to me,
you said about
it's
the Barbie Hyber, though.
Just because it's a movie for women, made for women, doesn't make it was the best movie ever. Like, get the fuck out of here. There were other movies that were better than it. Period. There were other actresses that were better in their lead actress role than Margot Robbie. She didn't really do much in Barbie movie, tell you the truth.
That it wouldn't have gotten as much, but maybe all them dudes that's voting was alive when the Oppenheimer thing happened, and they voted for what they recognized. Am I right? They all old dudes.
It's true. Maybe they should re-release it and hope that, you know, in re-releasing the movie, everybody goes to see it again and they make $2 billion. Shove it in
Exactly. No.
Really?
Well, listen, this is going to be continued, and we'll have to see.
Yeah.
It really shows that it's just women wanting to be on top of everything. You know, we should re-release it so it can make $2 billion. Really? You think a re-release of a movie is going to make the same amount of money as the regular release? Rarely is that ever going to fucking happen. You guys are fucking delusional.
How it goes from here, but I would love to see some love on that Oscar night.
That's right.
For Barbie.
That would be cool.
It'd be some good payback, and I hope all the men acknowledge the role that there. By the way, two other female directors who made incredible movies: Past Lives, Celine Song, and also Justine Triet, Anatomy of a Fall. Justine was nominated. She was the only female director nominated this year.
So there was a female director nominated. How many female directors are there to get nominated? Maybe there's like 3, and if there's 3 female directors versus like 100 male directors, it kind of makes sense that there might be only one that gets nominated.
For her movies, so it tells you a lot.
Very disingenuous. She's saying 2 other women outside of Greta also didn't get nominated for Best Director.
But you're
as
not
if
upset
only
about them.
2 other women directed films. Again, those are 2 other women that she wouldn't mind supporting. So I'm assuming all the women she said made these great movies, all of them somehow should have been nominated to appease this woman,
Right.
or maybe the feminists will like them to split it up somehow. Only 5 nominees are in the category anyway. It really all boils down to competition. And people like her don't want to compete. She's wanting everything to be based on gender. Did it ever occur to her that Margot did not get nominated for Best Actress because she was in a highly competitive category with other actresses? And the reason why I say Barbie was trash is because of the message in the movie. The message that all the men are idiots, the women are superior. These feminists programmed another 3 generations of women with this movie. And people
They
thought
did.
it was cute and innocent because of the bright colors, but it wasn't. This movie is very destructive. The crazy part is these feminists, they championed an anti-male movie, and now they want the men in control to validate and reward them with accolades. It's like they want to take over every industry in this country and be in charge, but they don't want to build nothing. So
Nope, they can't even run these industries because they don't know what to do, but they want to be on top of everything.
all this crying, I'm over it. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about this below. Should I?
Whew. Shout outs to Pink Book Lessons. Always doing wonderful work. That was some damn good chow. Delusional chow. Some outrageous chow. Just women wanting to be on top of everything. It's not just women, it's feminists. Like these certain women that really want to put women on top of everything in every industry and everything that they do. They just want to participate and all of a sudden become top of everything. Please like, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.